Hello there folks, welcome to another video. Now what I'm going to do today is something a little bit different. I guess you could call it a post-mortem of a recent RCV league race that I took part in last Thursday. RCV is racers of a certain vintage, the league that I'm in for over 50-year-olds. This race was round 4 of season 4 at Oulton Park on the Foster's layout, and the usual 30-minute race, tyre wear set to 1 times and fuel usage set to 2 times, and with the usual 1 mandatory pit stop to be made where you have to take on fuel and you have to change all 4 tyres. Now, this was my first race with the league for around 7 weeks. I was actually checking. My last race with them was on the 20th of June, so I was a little bit rusty in this one, it has to be said. And there are a few incidents. Fair to say that I owe an apology or two to people. That'll all become clear, and I think I was probably owed an apology or two as well. However, you will see it all pan out in front of you as we watch the replay here, and I do a bit of commentary as well. So I hope you enjoy this. I was watching the replay myself and I thought, you know, there's a little story to be told here, and this might make quite a good little video. So I thought I'd give it a go. Let me know in the comments if you've enjoyed it or not, if you'd like to see more of this kind of thing, or if you found it boring, let me know. Okay, so here we go, start of the race, 30 minutes, and you see I'm starting in 15th place. That green car got a very bad getaway, snoozing on the line. So first lap, we will just try and settle ourselves down and get these tyres heated up a little bit and the brakes heated up and try and stay out of trouble. Let the race come to us. Oh my god, I'm on the grass there. Nearly a disaster on lap 1. Getting a tyre on the grass here is bad news in these minis. So we've slipped down to 16th place now. Got David Blythe just ahead of us, and we've got Mr. Elgey, I think it's Chris Elgey, just behind. Trying to pressurise David Blythe into making a little mistake here. But just the first lap, so we're calling it a little bit canny. However, David has gone off, just went a little bit wide on the exit there onto the start-finish straight, so that's sneaked me up a place or two, up to 14th now. So ATI boy just in front of me, and Mr. Dagan, I think it's Lucas Dagan, behind me. Again, onto the grass there. I keep doing that on that corner, carrying far too much speed in there, obviously. I'm not going to get away with that every time. So we're out in just a little bit of fresh air now between Lucas behind us and ATI boy in front of us. These tyres are coming up to temperature very nicely and the brakes, so we can maybe start to push a little bit now. ATI boy's got ahead of Mr. Drury ahead, so he's our next target. So we're up in 14th place at the moment, and then suddenly we are promoted up to 12th, I believe. There we go. So I think there was an incident between Jonathan and Cooks 211, and then there's another incident just here which suddenly puts us up to 10th. So in the space of 3 laps we started 15th, we went back to 16th at one point, and now we're up to 10th. So it just shows you how quickly things can change when racing closely in cars like these little minis here. So we have Mr. Drury just ahead and Mr. Barham just behind us. Mr. Barham's going to feature later on in this video. You can see Kev in the yellow Mini just ahead of me got the corner wrong, so he's slow. And I'm a little bit boxed in here and I make this dreadful mistake of punting into Kev. I had nowhere to go really, and my fault at the end of the day. So the gentlemanly thing, just wait until Kev passes me again, give him the place back, and then rejoin the circuit. So at one point I'm away up to 10th, 11th, and now I'm away back down in 16th place. However, it's only lap 4 of 30, so you know there's a long race to go here. And as I say, I don't like accidentally putting somebody off the circuit, and I will always try and do the gentlemanly thing. So we've fast forwarded a little bit here. We're on to lap 6 now of 30. And I get good power coming out of that curve there, so I've managed to get ahead of Mr. Drury here into the last corner onto the start finish straight. So that's moved us up to 15th place on lap 6. So our next target is Kev further down the road. He is about 3.5 seconds ahead. We've got a little bit to make up on him, but we'll get the pedal to the metal and see what we can do. Carrying a lot of speed into that corner again. And Mr. Drury is not giving up after I took that place off him. He wants it back. So he is big in my mirrors just now. Good racing. Such good fun in these cars, and this circuit is perfect for the minis as well. So it's useful having that little mini map in the top right there, because you can really see the 3 dots of the cars just ahead of myself and Mr. Drury. They're having their own little battle, which is probably slowing them down slightly, so we're reeling them in now. There they go, you can just see them in the distance. Mr. Drury right up my back end there. Oh dear. He's putting me under pressure, and I make a mistake, and that gives him all the chance that he needs. So I've lost a place there, back into 16th place. So Bristol Kid, I'm not quite sure what happened to him. You know, it looks like he's 4 minutes behind, so I think he's just pulled off somewhere and he is spectating the race. So effectively I am in last place at the moment, lap 8 out of 30. Let's see what we can do about that though. Trying to just hang on to the coattails of Mr. Drury here, but he's a good driver, his lines are very good. I'm getting a little bit scrappy there as I'm trying to chase him. Oh, up on 2 wheels. Kicking up the dirt there as well. I love this part of the circuit here, but this is probably my least favourite corners here. It's like a double apex, and I never feel that I get the line correct here at all. So here's Mr. Drury and I starting to catch the tail end of that pack of 3. So this is soon going to get very, very interesting. Ahead of Drury is David Blythe again, and it looks like Mr. Drury's a bit faster than David, so he's all over the back of him. David's definitely slowing down Mr. Drury here, which is allowing me to reel them both in. And there's somebody else off, so that is going to promote us up to 15th. That looked like Chris Elgey has gone off. So here we go. Now we are close. Look at the 3 dots on the mini-map. Just shows you how close we are, how close we're racing. This is absolutely fantastic stuff. And very respectful racing going on with the 3 of us here, I think. Oh dear, I nearly went into the back of him. I was carrying way more speed into that corner. 15th on lap 10. Kicking up the dirt there again. Now I've got a good run on him here, so we're coming down side by side, and there's a tiny little bit of contact, and again, contact from me, contact from him, and Mr. Drury's gone off. A very good rejoin, hats off to you, sir. I've watched that a few times, and I don't know, I would probably call it a racing incident, but I'm glad that you only lost 1 place and you could stay in the fight. So now I have Mr. Blythe ahead of me again. We seem to be meeting each other quite a bit on this circuit. I've got some good power going down here. I'm going to try and take him on the inside. Yep, so that moves us up to 12th now. Mr. Barham, unknown to us, must have had an off, so he's away back in 16th place. So we're on lap 11 now, and we're up to 11th, so it's certainly seesawing around. I'm never going to get up the front with the fast guys, like Jonathan and Canovo and Dom Payne's new guys, very quick as well. But I'm quite happy with the way it's going just now, having been away from the league racing for a few weeks. So up to 11th, be very happy if I was able to finish the race in 11th. At this stage we have Kev Lewis, which is a good 9 seconds ahead of us, so it's going to be very difficult to catch him. And we've got David Blythe just behind us, and you can see some of the guys are starting to pit now. There's a couple in the pit as we go past here, so we gain a place or 2 because of that, so we're up to 10th, and the car's feeling good. I put in a full tank of fuel to start the race, so I'm just going to do a kind of splash and dash, as they say, towards nearer the end and the middle. Tyres at this stage are okay, the car's feeling excellent, so I've got a little bit of clean air. I'm in no rush to come in, so I just bimble around for a while. We've fast forwarded a wee bit here, so we're up to lap 12 now out of 30, and because of pit stops I'm up to 6th place. Bit of a false dawn obviously, what with pits, so you can see there's 3 people in the pit right now, and I'm going to go sailing past them. Lo and behold, we're in 3rd place. But as I say, it's a bit of a false 3rd because I've got to come in to the pits as well. But anyway, we shall make hay whilst the sun shines. Car's feeling good. You can see a load of guys pitting now. I always feel it to be a bit daft to come into the pits if your tyre wear's okay, you don't need the fuel, and you've got a bit of space on the circuit. You might as well make the most of that and just try and eke out a few tenths or halves or seconds here and there. So you can see we're over halfway now, lap 17 of 30, and I think it's this one where I decide to come in maybe. Yeah, I could start to feel my front tyres going a little bit, so I thought, okay, now's the time to come in. So obviously I come in 3rd, but there's going to be a whole load of cars sailing past me whilst I'm in the pits. So I'm going to drop down the leaderboard again, I edited out the pit lane, so something did happen there. I just edited out the video. And we come down with our pit limiter switched on so we don't get a time penalty, and we rejoin the circuit in 13th. So now it's basically a race to the end. So lap 18 of 30, 12 laps to go. And we're coming in here and somebody's had an off, ATI boy, so that puts us up a place. We're up 12th now. So now if you look at the mini map, you'll see that there's not really anybody at this stage immediately in front of me, and there's nobody immediately behind me. Kev Lewis is 6.7 seconds up the road, and then ATI Boy is 2.8 seconds behind me. Now behind ATI Boy is Mr. Barham, so they're having their own scrap as well, so I'm trying to scamper away as quickly as I can so as they don't gain on me, but I think they're having such a good scrap that Mr. Barham is almost pushing ATI Boy along. You can see at the moment the gap is round about 2.3, 2.4 seconds. So here's me, and you can see them in the background there. So we're just trying to keep things nice and clean. Lap 21 of 30, so there's 9 laps to go. Placed 11th, which, as I've said, I'd be quite happy if I could finish this race in 11th. And I'm just trying to keep that gap pegged between myself and ATI Boy. You can see he's got it down to about 2 seconds now though. So I think Mr. Barham is definitely pushing ATI Boy along. I'm kicking up the dirt there as I'm getting a little bit raggedy. Got the gap back up to 2.5 seconds. Just catching a little glimpse of Kev Lewis ahead, still over 7 seconds down the road, so I think it's too tall an order for me to catch him before the end of the race. So my main concern is really these two guys behind me. And you can see the gap again is just down to 2 seconds, and just behind Mr. Barham is Mr. Elgie, so it's almost not far off becoming a three-way battle between them. Lap 22 now, so only 8 laps to go, and roughly about a minute a lap here at this shorter configuration of Oulton Park, so about 8 minutes of the race to go. You can see ATI Boy has now got it below 2 seconds, so they're definitely nibbling in and reeling me in as well. But at this stage I'm pretty confident that I can keep them behind me in the minutes that are left. Car's feeling good, tyres are nicely warmed up. It's down the gap now, down to 1.6 seconds. Cause for concern. Now, it's round about this stage that I notice that Mr. Barham, I think he's got a 50-second time penalty. It doesn't show on the replay here, but I remember seeing it actually live during the race, so I did think, well, 50 seconds, it's not going to make a heck of a difference to your finishing position. We could rule out Bristol Kid because he's basically retired and is spectating, so the real last person is David Blythe, 118, and Mr. Barham's on 47, so what's that, a difference of about 30 seconds. It's not going to make a difference really whether he gets past or not. However, he is pressurising ATI Boy here. I'm just trying to keep it together. Look at this, look at this. He's got him into that corner. So they're having a right old scrap behind me. So Mr. Barham is past. So he is now my immediate threat. And from what I could see watching the replay, I think he was just a smidgen quicker than ATI Boy, so it didn't surprise me that he got past him. Mind you, ATI Boy's not letting him get away there, is he? He is right up his jacksie. So, lap 24 of 30, so there's 6 laps to go, effectively 6 minutes, still holding on to 11th position, but I've got Mr. Barham basically a second behind me now. He's definitely reeling me in, but I am conscious that he has this 50-second penalty, so I'm kind of hoping that he doesn't do anything rash, because it's not going to make a heck of a difference to his finishing spot, but it could make a lot of difference to my finishing spot. So I'm trying to keep him behind me. Lap 25 now, so 5 laps, roughly 5 minutes. Slightly different lines coming into T1. He's definitely in my slipstream now. But getting behind somebody's one thing, getting past them is another. Now, unfortunately, we're about to see it all go pear-shaped. So he's right with me here, and he gets onto the grass, which is never going to end well. Heavy braking into this corner, on the grass again, and I'm afraid the end result is predictable, to say the least. So ATI Boy has gone past both of us. Mr. Barham scooted back onto the circuit and he's away. And I am back in 13th place. So I only lost 2 places, but it kind of annoyed me, I'll be honest. And at this stage, I'm not paying attention to who's really behind me, and the leaders are now behind me. So this is where I've got apologies to make now. I believe this is Dom Payne. Dom, I am so sorry. I should have had my relative timer on. I really wish that mini-map had the dots in a different colour. If they had the cars that are going to lap you, if they had the dots blue, it would be so much easier. However, that is not an excuse. I should be getting out your way right now. So, a major apologies. Hands up. My only defence is I've been away for 7 weeks, and I was rattled by that being taken off with basically about 3 or 4 minutes to go. However, I do realise eventually I come to my wits, I come to my senses, and it's like, oh my god, I'm holding up one of the leaders. So I do let you go. And then Jonathan is now behind me, and he's obviously wanting to chase down Dom ahead of him. So and I am kind of trying to get a decent point to let you past here, Jonathan, but a circuit like this is not always easy. So if I remember rightly, I'll let you go here. Yep. And then I think, oh well, that's great. I've let the leaders go, and of course, what I don't know is I've now got Canovo right behind me, and I'm mistaking him for somebody I'm racing against. So again, I have major apologies to make here, Canovo. I am so sorry about this. I know that you were chasing Jonathan down. I'm lucky I didn't have the chat on. They'd probably all be they'd all be cursing me over the airwaves. So a good little scrap going there. So suddenly we're all buried together, and this must be really annoying Canovo, because he would have had a chance there to really close the gap on Jonathan and Dom. And I think here he almost gives me a little nudge off the track, which I don't blame him. There we go. I don't blame you at all for that, Canovo. I think that is the last of the leaders that I managed to hold up, so apologies to all three of you. That was just me being a bit of an arsehole. So here we are, lap 30, last lap of the race, and I'm in 13th. I would have liked to have finished 11th. It wasn't going to happen. We all cruise down and we all start running into each other just for good measure. So, a great, enjoyable race. I really did enjoy it. There were, incidents. There were things that I did wrong. There were things that, in my opinion, other people did wrong. But hey, that's sim racing. It's just a game at the end of the day. In the heat of the moment, you might be quite mad about things, but you always learn something. And the big thing is to try and admit your mistakes, I think, and apologise for them. So, I hope you enjoyed that video, folks. A little recap of my league race from last Thursday. If you did enjoy it, let me know in the comments, and I will see you soon for another video. Cheers for now.